My name's Tim. I've lived in Essex most of my life. I'm 49 this year. My dog really is my life. She's my first ever dog, and she's just such good fun. I was diagnosed diabetic type 1 on my 14th birthday, which is a great birthday present. You feel like you're given a list of all the things that if you don't do this, this will happen to you. And I can recite that list as being blindness, heart attack, stroke. And at 14, that's what you're given. So that is a huge thing to actually process in your head. Amputation was never one of them. I thought, well, you know, I am fit, I am active. I never saw that as being an issue. I mean, my first actual amputation was 4 years ago. I had a toe removed. The actual foot ulcers probably started about 2 years before that. The ones before, they were fairly minor, they were treated, they recovered, they weren't too bad. The last one was the most severe, and I think the results from that and everything else that occurred as a result of it has actually terrified me. I was at a friend's wedding in Greece and I bought a new pair of shoes for the event. I remember leaving the reception to go to the loo, and as I was coming out the loo, there was a trail of blood across the floor, and I took the shoe off. Literally, all the skin on the ball of my right foot had just completely come away. They told me from the get-go that for it to recover, you basically need to offload all the weight on your foot completely. In an ideal world, fantastic, but even when you're working, you can't just sit down and put your foot up for an entire day. Being a diabetic, sometimes I get hypos at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd go downstairs to get a bowl of cereal, sort of hypo out, and there would be a trail of blood all down the stairs where everything had just literally seeped through the dressings that were on there. The worst thing, and this is really gross, is the smell. When it gets to the point when your partner says, "I'm sorry, but I can't sit on the sofa next to you because I can smell your foot." The mental impact of that is hideous. It wasn't getting any better, it wasn't recovering, it wasn't shrinking. I eventually got diagnosed with sepsis. So rushed into hospital, and my foot had literally blown up and the skin was starting to peel away from the top surface. I got admitted on the Sunday. On the Tuesday night, they put me in intensive care and summoned my next of kin and said, "This is it." That was the most frightening it ever got. They said, right, okay, we've got this new dressing. It's in sort of development stages. They're doing trials on it. So that was September last year, and ErgoStart probably started about the end of September, beginning of October. And then we started to see really positive changes. The infection disappeared completely. They started using the ErgoStart dressings. It didn't require any additional padding on the foot. I could wear normal shoes. I could carry on with sort of, you know, walking, but keeping it fairly reduced to keep the pressure off. But we started to see a difference pretty rapidly. Just the whole appearance of it just changed. You know, the skin started to look healthy around it. The colour completely changed. You could see there's a better sort of blood supply to the wound coming in. And then literally from like 1 millimetre reduction a week, it went to 2 millimetre reduction a week. The depth of the wound reduced right down to almost nothing. And I think the final 2 weeks, which we're probably looking about 2 months ago now, it was so rapid between being a small hole to being nothing at all. It was incredible. It didn't need changing as regularly as the previous dressings, and yet the results were so much more noticeable and so quick as well. It was all a positive change. Absolutely amazing. I would say to other patients, absolutely push for ErgoStart as a treatment, because the early stage results are so positive. You've got to look at that recovery over the elongated time and cost. ErgoStart really is the way forward.